What's going on, Jets fans? Jets on the clock shortly, in a couple hours here. Fourth round, two more picks to make to round out what has already been an excellent draft class so far. Pick 111, pick 117. Where do we go from here? Well, there's really four positions that most Jets fans would agree that these two picks should be used to address two of them. That is offensive line depth, linebacker, safety, and defensive line depth. So for me, the two I would pick out of that four that I would like to be addressed would be number one, linebacker. I think as the roster currently sits, it's still the weakest position group on the team. It's really CJ Mosley and then a bunch of guys who have never been relied upon as starters for any stretch of time. You got to remember Quincy Williams, who I like. I like his speed. I like his blitzing. But if we're walking into next season and handing Quincy Williams a starting job, I don't love the shape of our linebacker room if that's the case. Now, safety. You may say that was also a really bad position group last year as well. And I agree. But number one, we got a rock solid starter in Jordan Whitehead. So now looking at that other safety position, the free safety role, no, there's no Pro Bowl Pro Bowlers on the roster, but there's a lot of names that we could stick to the wall in camp, have a competition, and I think one solid starter should emerge. LaMarcus Joyner, who was going to be a starter last year, but he got hurt. Jason Pinnock, who showed some promise after switching to safety from cornerback last year. Elijah Riley, Will Parks, and then of course we have Ashton Davis. So out of those five guys, I feel like the competition should bring about one okay starter to play alongside Jordan Whitehead. Although, yeah, we could probably hope to do better at safety. Then the other spot, now we're going linebacker. I'm going linebacker over safety. Now let's talk about the trenches. Offensive line or defensive line? I'd prefer an offensive lineman. Preferably either a swing tackle or a developmental center. I like to have a swing tackle in. That way we are multiple injuries away from Connor McDermott having to step on the field. We saw how that looked in Buffalo. It's just not an option. We cannot have Connor McDermott protecting Zach Wilson's blind side at any point this year if we can avoid it. And then a center who can come in and compete with Dan Feeney right away for the backup center job. And then maybe next year, if we let Connor McGovern walk, he's getting towards the age of 30. He's a little on the expensive side for a center. Maybe we can plug in that center next season. So I think that would be a good way to go. Defensive line, Perion Winfrey is still there. So, man, it might come down to a BPA thing because Perion Winfrey is going to be better than any of those prospects at any other position that I named. So if he's there, yeah, you probably got to pull the trigger and go BPA. But our defensive line depth is actually in decent shape. Assuming John Franklin-Myers slides back inside, he and Quinnen Williams are the starters. And you got Sheldon Rankins. You got Solomon Thomas. You got Jonathan Marshall from last year. Nathan Shepard. I don't know. He's a body. So I think we're okay there. If I had to pick, ideally we could address all four. But if it comes down to it, just staying put at those two picks, barring any trades, I'd prefer the Jets to come away with a linebacker and an offensive lineman in round four. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and let's go Jets.